There's something about good sex that most people already know, but almost no one wants to say out loud. And that silence, it turns out, costs us more than we think. Many people, especially the serious and thoughtful ones, have long believed that sex is too base a thing to matter much in the big picture of a relationship. Philosophers, religious leaders, and intellectuals across history have always pointed us toward higher concerns. Things like meaning, shared values, virtue, wisdom, in the life of the mind. The body and its needs, they argued, are distractions for the weak and the shallow. A truly wise person, they said, rises above all of that. But here is the uncomfortable truth. We are never more foolish than when we pretend that our most basic human needs do not shape our lives in powerful ways. We sleep, we eat, we feel pain, we feel pleasure, and we long for certain things very deeply. Pretending otherwise does not make us wiser or more evolved. It just makes us dishonest. And dishonesty, no matter how politely dressed, has a way of catching up with us. When it comes to sex, that dishonesty can quietly hollow out a relationship from the inside. By the time people notice, years have already passed. When we look for a partner or try to build something lasting with someone we care about, we naturally focus on all the respectable things first. Do they share our values? Are they kind and reliable? Do our families get along with them? Do they have goals and ambition? Are they someone our friends would approve of? These questions feel safe. They feel mature. They feel like the right things to ask. So we ask them. And we take the answers very seriously. But underneath all of those questions, there is a more honest one sitting quietly, waiting. One that often gets skipped entirely because it feels too raw, too personal, or somehow unworthy of serious people. And yet, it is not unworthy at all. For many couples, it turns out to be the most important question of all. How good is the sex? Not just whether it happens. Not just whether it is technically fine. But whether it is truly good. Whether it feels right in a deep and specific way. Whether it is something both people genuinely look forward to, reach for, and feel better for having. The truth is, sex is not one single simple thing. Most of us do not fully realize this until we have had enough experience to compare honestly. There is a version of sex that feels electric, natural, and completely right. There is a version that is just okay and leaves you a little empty. And there is a version that slowly drains something out of you over months and years. These are not the same experience. They do not do the same thing to a life or to a relationship. The kind that actually works and sustains a couple is the kind where two people are genuinely matched in this area, where what one person privately needs, the other also genuinely wants, where the unspoken parts of who someone is find a real and warm welcome, rather than a polite but quiet rejection, where the same things excite both people, where there is real curiosity and real enthusiasm on both sides, where neither person feels like they are asking for too much or settling for too little. This kind of match cannot be manufactured by goodwill alone. And it is not guaranteed by having similar taste in films, agreeing on politics, or both loving long walks on weekends. It is something more specific and more personal than any of that. It either exists between two people, or it does not. And no amount of effort in other areas of the relationship can fully replace it when it is missing. If what you are hearing right now is making you think a little differently about relationships, you are definitely not alone. At Wisdom Dose, we make videos about the ideas that most people quietly feel, but almost never hear spoken clearly and honestly. If this video is connecting with you, please take a second right now to hit the like button, leave your thoughts or your own experience in the comments below, and subscribe to Wisdom Dose so you never miss a video like this one. Your support genuinely matters and helps this kind of honest conversation reach more people who need it. Now let us talk about what actually happens when this match is missing, and neither person is willing to admit it. Most breakups, when you examine them honestly and without the polished public explanations, do not really come down to the reasons people give. It is not truly about growing apart. It is not really about wanting different things in life 5 years down the road. Those explanations are real on the surface, but they are often just more comfortable and more socially acceptable to say out loud at a dinner party or to a mutual friend. The real answer, in far more cases than people admit, lives in the one place the two people never managed to talk about, openly and honestly with each other. The place where sex either brought them genuinely close or quietly and consistently did not. Neither person wanted to admit what they actually needed. Neither wanted to risk the awkwardness or the embarrassment of being truly and fully known in that particular way. So they stayed polite with each other. They stayed on the surface. They told themselves that being good partners in all the visible ways was enough. That the physical side of things would work itself out eventually. Or that it mattered less than all the other things they happened to have in common. Things like a love of travel, a shared group of friends, similar ideas about money, or a mutual appreciation for the same kind of films. So they pushed the question aside. They gave it a lower priority than it deserved. They were too embarrassed to own up, even to themselves.
It ain't about what they privately wanted and needed. They assumed that being nice and being compatible on paper would carry the relationship through. And for a while, it seemed like it might. But the distance grew. Not loudly. Not in one big dramatic moment. Just slowly and steadily. In the one specific place they had both quietly agreed never to look too closely at. By the time it became impossible to ignore, the gap had grown very wide indeed. This is one of the great quiet tragedies of modern relationships. Not that people make terrible choices or fall in love with the wrong person in some obvious way, but that they make their choices without full honesty, that they rate certain things higher than they deserve, and push other things to the back of the list because those things feel embarrassing to admit to.
They told themselves that sex was not really as important as finding someone who also loved hiking, or contemporary art, or cooking elaborate meals on Sunday afternoons. And in doing so, they quietly gave away a significant portion of their one life. The wiser path is not the one that avoids this question, or treats it as too awkward to take seriously. It is the one that asks it early, sits with the answer honestly, and gives it the weight it actually deserves. Real maturity in relationships is not about pretending you are above your own desires or that your deeper needs do not exist. It is about having the courage and the self-awareness to know what those needs are, to stop carrying shame about them, and to make choices that fit the full and honest truth of who you actually are. At Wisdom Dose.
This is what we believe real intelligence looks like when it comes to love and relationships. Not rising above the messy, human, physical parts of life as if they are beneath you, but facing them clearly, without shame or embarrassment, and letting that honesty guide you towards something that is genuinely real, genuinely lasting, and genuinely good. The more honestly we are willing to live with ourselves, the better our chances of building something with another person that actually holds together over time. If this video helped you see sex and relationships in a clearer or more honest way, we would really love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, your questions, or your own experience with this topic. Like this video if it resonated with you today. And make sure you are subscribed to Wisdom Dose for more ideas that take real human life seriously and speak about it honestly. See you in the next one.